Hey, welcome back to Score on Business, and we're still with author Jim Brown. So, Jim, we've been talking about this polarization in America. How can we end our uncivil war?
Pete, the book is divided into 4 sections, action steps, if you will. And if you go to the website, endingouruncivil.com, and you click resources, you'll see those 4 areas. And it's serve regularly, grow spiritually, protect speech, and reform the government. And I saved the government reform for last because I think starting might have been a little harder for some people, but the end of the book is where there are 5 major bipartisan reforms that poll very, very well. And I left out any reforms that are not bipartisan.
So serve regularly.
Serve regularly.
What do you mean there?
I had this epiphany. I was on my bike and I saw this bumper sticker, "Don't believe everything you think." And it really triggered a lot in my head. And I was really thinking about the homeless and some other things in my life and how I viewed them. And I went, I don't really know the homeless. I'm kind of judging them. And so over the course of time, I'm at Room in the Inn and I'm serving them every Sunday. And they're telling me why they don't have a job instead of me wondering why they don't have a job. So it just transformed my view of there, and it led to other areas where I became more of a scout and less of a soldier. And I was really proud to learn new things more than I had before. And so I started thinking this way, this might really work for people that are stuck in something.
So one thing is to do some volunteer work and kind of learn about other people. What's our next concept?
So service and love, and that's a big thing. So you don't dehumanize when you're serving love. Growing spiritually, there's a lot in there, but loving your enemy seems to be something that Dr. King talked about. A lot of people say, and then you leave church and you don't. And so how are we going to get there? How are we going to achieve agape, which is deep, profound love? And I thought that some of Dr. King's teachings that we say we love on Martin Luther King Day, but then we don't really talk about them the rest of the year, I thought this was really worth looking at and delving into and sharing some personal experiences. Agape is all around us. We don't see it, but we don't see it. We don't see it because of the echo chamber, but it is everywhere. And that's what I'm inviting people to do, is to get away from those chambers.
The next comment, so the next thing is love your enemy. What's the next concept?
So protect speech. About 4 or 5 years ago, I thought what was happening on college campuses was a little alarming, that they were not assembling peaceably, the First Amendment. A lot of schools were creating safe spaces and enabling victimization, and even liberals are speaking up about this. President Obama and Van Jones with CNN said, look, if you're offended, that's fine, but don't run to your safe space and don't say you're a victim. If you're upset and outraged, then engage. But listen first, and then engage back. And if you don't like what's going on, you can form a coalition. You can speak out, but speak out forcefully, but peacefully. Peaceably.
And then I think the last concept is reform government.
Reform the government.
How?
The states have great answers, and the feds have, over time, they've gotten into a hole. Congress is very weak at the moment, and with that vacuum in power, the executive branch has become more authoritarian over the last 15, 20 years, and you have the courts deciding a lot of things. The agencies basically litigating now, and it's got a lot of, you've got a lot of discord. There's a couple of quick things. Single subject bills, one bill at a time, makes them debate. The states do it, let's have the feds do it. The balance in the budget, they have to come up every year. They've got to talk about what the revenues are. They've got to prioritize items. They've got to compromise, and they've got to leave. And then the regulatory tension is very healthy at the state level. It's not the federal level. So that has to be fixed.
Voting, getting out and voting is a...
Voting is participating. We have, part of the book is about how people are over-engaging in social media and not engaging at all, which is what you're saying. So you have to be there, and you have to be educated and make sure that you're really not going to one source, but multiple sources.
Jim, thank you so much for being here. This has been awesome.
We covered a lot.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
And ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week. Bye now.
Thanks, Pete.